Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the Phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
Welcome to the Asterisk Inclusion Podcast. I'm joined with Nate Gate, the Grizz himself, and you got me, the King. We're going to talk a little bit about fantasy football and some topics on the NFL too tonight. But first, let me just start off by saying congratulations, Nate Gate, on not just beating Dr. Drill, but winning points for the week.
Oh yeah, feeling good. Caught up on Oracle. I'm only 16 points behind. I'm rooting for you unless I'm rooting for me. So one of us has got to get it this year, Oracle.
I did. Well, I knew what the complications were during that game with Drill and you. Every time Kelsey scored, I just chuckled. I was like, "No way!" It was. I mean, you have to laugh in looking at that. And I'm sure Drill took his lumps. Just like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like the good thing for him is he was in the same boat as me. I mean, we were the only ones outscoring the Oracle, so we made up some ground. So I'm sure he feels good about that. But I'm sure he doesn't feel good about losing to the Gate. So sucks for you, Drill.
Oh, ouch.
That is correct. That definitely does. I'm just going to bring up a point. We were kind of mentioning this before. I mean, Kelsey finished with 35 points, which for a tight end, that's amazing. For any player, that's really, really good. But I have to admit, like 4 touchdowns and you only get 35 points out of the guy.
Doesn't really make much sense. He must have had 40, 50 yards.
Right. Yeah. He was all of those were red zone, if not goal line plays. He called a couple plays just to get him a first down here or there, but really it was all in the goal line. But hey, I'll take it.
Hey, out of a tight end, yes, definitely. Considering the fact, I don't even know if mine played.
I started thinking though, is that the best tight end we ever seen? Because the ball's going to him. And they still can't stop it. And correct me if I'm wrong, I've never seen an offense that rotates directly around the tight end. I've never seen it.
There was a play where he stiff-armed 3 guys on the way to the end zone. It was ridiculous. Everybody knows it's going to him. He still somehow catches it. Everybody's lined up to stop him, and he just shoves their face into the dirt. It was crazy.
I mean,
yeah, it was awesome.
I think Kelsey's going to be, obviously he's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, but having Mahomes throwing him the ball, I mean, that just elevates him much, takes him to a whole nother level. So, I mean, it makes you wonder if say Gronk or, I don't know, Tony Gonzalez or somebody had Mahomes, how good they would do. But let's just shift gears just a little bit out of fantasy, kind of, and talk a little bit about football. I mean, there's been some big news in the NFL this past weekend. And let's just kick it off with the big firing in Carolina Panther land. Matt
Rule, you mentioned it. Gone. I mean, you were calling it. You wanted him gone. I was like, no way they're going to fire him. But I mean, if I was a Panthers fan, you wanted him gone. A lot of people wanted him gone last year, and this is just awful. I feel bad. And I'm a huge Chicago Bears fan, but I do support the Panthers and like the Panthers are my hometown team, and I just hate to see something like that. And it's, I was talking to my brother about this. The worst thing about it is they still owe him $40 million, and it's just sports is out of whack, man. It's just he didn't deserve a penny of that, but he's going to get it. And the whole thing smells awful. It's just terrible. I hate it all the way around.
No, I agree. Go ahead, Nick.
I don't get the mid-season firing, to be honest. like, what's your goal if you're rebuilding? It's to tank, right? He was achieving that goal. Like, why not keep him around and then just let him go at the end of the year? I mean, you're already going to pay him one way or another.
Yeah. The timing of it was kind of weird because I thought they might have fired him before the season started. That might have been a good time to, honestly, like, it would have made sense to me. Like, or like you say, like, if they, hold on to him, just hold on to him to the end of the year and then let him go. Either way.
Well, now we have a lot of rumors going around, and it's trade season in the NFL. So if you got players that are unhappy, situations like the Carolina Panthers, I'm honest, I'm going to say it right now. I think CMC is gone. I think he is going to get traded. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
The other name, because I want to dig into that, but the other name I think we should talk about is DJ Moore. Because if I'm him, I'm getting my agent to call every team that's missing a key weapon, right? Because he's amazing, and he hadn't ever had a good quarterback.
No. And to be honest, he's not. I mean, if he sticks around, he's not going to have one at least this year. Was a PJ Walker or whatever is going to be the QB. I mean, that might actually be an upgrade over Baker. So yeah, I don't know how much of a fire sale the Panthers are going to do. I do agree. I think C-Mac's definitely on the board because just how much they're paying him and his value. So it'll be interesting to see like where C-Mac ends up. If it's a team like the Bills, I don't know. Do you think that would like increase or decrease?
I think it's for Nate Gate especially. I think it's a win-win. I think anywhere is better. If he goes to some team like the Bills, I mean, you're going to get a player if he's healthy that could just have 30, 40-point weeks and be more consistent too. I mean, I think if they trade him, because he will have some leverage on where he goes, I think he will have a deciding factor. He'll probably have 3 or 4 teams. But the bad thing about the Panthers is I don't think they're going to get compensated very well at this point, especially for a running back. So expect to get something like a second or third because they're going to absorb the salary cap hit.
Yeah, I agree. Like they're not going to get a first rounder from C-Mac, but it does make. I think like for Nate Gate, he'll be watching very closely that, and I agree to an extent. Like if he goes to something like the Bills, it could increase his value. However, that's got to decrease somewhere. It's not like there's only one ball there. So if C-Mac's getting more touches, more balls, then maybe Diggs isn't getting as many. Also, I'll throw out another team real quick, and that's the Chiefs. Their running backs aren't exactly like stellar, but also, I mean, if this is a cold war in the AFC, and they're like, and they know the Bills are probably looking at C-Mac, then they are probably looking at C-Mac too to make sure they don't get them.
Yeah, I'll throw out a few more, but I don't know their budget situation to know whether it's realistic or not. You got the Broncos just lost Devontae, right? The Seahawks just lost Penny, although they got a backup, so I'll retract the Seahawks. I don't think Eno Benjamin's the long-term plan for the Cardinals. They just lost Connor possibly for a while. So what do you think? Are there any other options out there other than just the AFC juggernauts?
I think the Panthers are going to basically just get what they can and basically see who the highest bidder is. That's all they can hope for.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably somebody else. I mean, it might be Dolphins maybe could be interested. I was going to say the Falcons, but like they're not going to trade him in
a division or something. He's going to go to a team that is at least decent. I think a playoff contention team, and like you said, between the Chiefs and the Bills, that's where it could get interesting. I mean, the Bills makes a ton of sense. I mean. If I was a GM for the Bills, I would give up 2 second rounders or something and work something out immediately. I would be calling them. I would have them on the phone right now because that would put them, I think, in the Super Bowl.
So you don't think Cooks is the answer, huh?
He had a little run last week, but I mean, the Bills just don't have a player of that capacity. Everybody, Bills are a great team, but you can. you can have a committee like the Bills do and still be successful. But if you had a chess piece like that, that makes them scary.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, let's jump to another team. Actually, one team that's been actually really hot lately. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush, Tony Pollard, best backfield in the NFC East. I don't know, but in all seriousness, though, they have been doing great and they have been winning. But I think Dak is scheduled to come back here in the next few weeks, if I'm not mistaken. My question to you guys: does Dak end up getting his starting position back?
That's a Mike McCarthy decision there, and I think if he's smart, he keeps Cooper in there. You don't bench a quarterback who's winning, in my opinion, and I just think the team is behind him, and you just don't change that. If he changes that, it tells me he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And I already think that Sean Payton is looking in the rearview mirror and wanting that Cowboys job. So this will be really interesting to see how it unfolds. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, I told you that's his last year in Dallas. He stinks. And Prescott, I've never been really impressed with him, but he had that one good year statistically. And I'm not saying he's bad, but this is the second injury. And I have to wonder now, look at the salary cap and stuff. I think the Cowboys, knowing they have Cooper Rush, I guarantee you one of them is going to be gone. So this is going to be dynamic.
Oh.
I'll remind you that there's another decision maker in Dallas who's not very rational. So Jerry likes who Jerry likes. So we'll see what actually happens. There's rational coaching, and then there's Jerry Jones.
That's right.
No.
He's all about the money. He likes the attention. So
He
whatever
loves the
garners the
attention.
most media, the most attention, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, that is true. I would just ride the hot hand of Cooper Rush. At least,
yeah.
I mean, that
it's
just
a
seems
no-brainer.
right.
I'm not saying that's the right decision. I'm just saying Jerry loves the crazy decision. He loves the star. Yeah. But yeah, why would you stop using Cooper Rush as a CD Lamb owner? I know exactly who you want because it's been a world of difference since Dak got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, all right, if Dak comes back, do you think that's helps out the Cowboys, like
No.
fantasy-wise?
No.
I think it's a restart. And, I mean, they have to build that chemistry back up and stuff. I don't think it's anything dynamic, but, you could lose a game or two, and then the focus will be put on McCarthy. I just don't see how you could make any changes. I'm actually incredibly surprised. I don't even know much about Cooper Rush. I need to go back and research him. I think I asked that question last year, but I mean, Cooper's got to be in his second or third year? What year is he?
That's a good question.
But I mean, he's younger than him too, and he's making all the throws. He's calm. He's collective. I'm really impressed with how he's handling the offense, and he looks like one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. So, yeah, that's a good problem to have. The Bears have never had that problem, so I'm envious.
Yeah. By the way, let's see. He was signed by the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent in 2017.
So he's almost the same age as Dak.
He's older than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's just been around the league, I guess, and made
For
guys
one or
finally
two
an
point oh.
opportunity. So, well, I mean, good luck for Cooper, and keep throwing it to the CeeDee Lamb. I need all the points I can get, please. One other thing the Grids brought up was some of the calls actually the NFL made this past weekend. And I'm not just not talking about just one or two maybe, but like there are a few bad calls out there. And I think the one everyone's been talking about has been the Tom Brady roughing the passer. I mean, maybe one of the worst calls in NFL history.
And followed up by last night's game where Carr got sacked. I was just in both of them in disbelief, but Nate, maybe you can go first on this. And what are your thoughts on it?
So I only saw last night's roughing the passer call. I haven't seen the Tom Brady hit yet, so I'll let you guys talk about that. But what surprised me, the bottom line is it was the wrong call. So then the question is why, like there was an explanation given, but it doesn't explain it. They said that the quarterback has to be able to protect themselves and until they're in a posture where they can protect themselves that's still roughing the passer. But he was like putting his arm down or something. So, I mean, he was already fumbled and being sacked, and it was a clean hit. I don't see how they made that call. And I mean, I think we all know why they made the call. They're worried about, all this concussion stuff and all, but like, if you can't tackle somebody straight on like Carr was hit last night, I don't know what you can do. What happened with Brady? Was it worse or was it the same?
No, I mean it's I don't know if you can really say which one's worse, but I started thinking about Tua and his family, the doctors, the lawyers, the lawsuits. I think the refs are scared and they need to be protected and know that they can officiate the game properly because that last week was awful. It wasn't just those two hits. I was watching some of the games. Some of the stuff was just awful. And we've talked about this before, Cooper. We're worried about watching flag football in a decade or two. And I hope it doesn't come to that because when you watch stuff like this and it changes the course of a game, it kind of takes, it puts a bad taste in your mouth. And, and that could over time. You don't want to have this stuff keep on lingering and hanging around because you'll lose your taste for sports altogether to a certain extent. And I don't know what else I'd watch if I didn't like football so much. But that was two of the worst calls I've probably seen in 1 week in years.
Yeah, plus like the Brady call literally cost the Falcons the game. I mean,
Brady's always around in bad calls when they seem to happen.
Yeah, really. When the call happened, it wasn't roughing the passer. It was a legit sack. If anything, he rolled him over. It wasn't like a direct hit or anything. And by giving that roughing the passer call, that gave the Bucs a first down, which let them continue on, basically run out the clock. So that really
maybe Brady's just too. I thought originally I said maybe they're just cutting Brady a break or giving him the old man rule or something because he made this fall apart. He's just so old, and they're like I did think about that at first. Maybe there's really they gave him that superstardom label, and they're afraid he's just going to get hurt because he's so old.
No, I mean, I thought so too. But then after the Carr play, I kind of leaned more towards the refs being a little gun shy out there with everything that happened with Tua. I agree with that one.
Well, and what's ridiculous is like they pay who knows how much to who knows how many doctors on the sideline, right?
Oh.
Like the refs aren't doctors. Call the game as they see it. If somebody's hurt, get them off the field. Like I'm not saying don't rest these guys and get them healthy, and we don't want the effects of concussions, but the whole point of football is to tackle the guy with the ball, and you should call it the same way.
It's a violent game, and you're seeing these ramifications after Tua, and it's changed everything, and it's sad. They need to get everything back together, and we hadn't highlighted this. You do know I didn't read the exact rules or implications, but the Players Association got with the NFL, and they are having different protocols for concussions. So I don't know if you guys are read into that, but a lot has happened over the last week.
Yeah, and I mean, like once again, that's the same thing. Like if you feel like the best thing to do is hold a guy out another game to make sure that there's no lasting implications, I'd rather see Tua playing 2 years from now versus 2 weeks from now.
It can happen too.
Yeah, so but that doesn't change the competitiveness of the game. Like a guy gets dinged, you need to take him off, but don't give the game away because you felt like they were a little too rough on Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games won on the refs, and it's happening week in and week out.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I think we had a really good pod, and if I don't say so myself, but let's. I think we're gonna finish the night and look forward to a new pod later this week. How does that sound?
Yeah, looking forward to hearing the picks for the week. I'm a jet setter, so I'm on the road again, so I got nothing but time to talk about football. So hit me up. Let's do another pod this week.
Definitely. And guys, listeners, don't forget, we're right and you're wrong. Thank you for listening to us. Talk to you later.